Well, I think that I honestly think there would be like a therapeutic aspect to it for us.
Well, tell me more.
I just think that there would be a level of very bizarre but very real intimacy to us dancing together.
Okay.
I'm really into this idea now.
And then the third thing, just so you know, is casual singing in car singing on key. I would like to be able to do that.
I feel like for some people, just singing on key is tough.
Yeah.
And, And you're one of them, and that no disrespect.
No, it's true. Sewing, dancing, singing. Anyway, he sews.
Uh-huh. And the sewing thing is germane to the story because, as he said when we talked, Andrew was making a backpack, and he wanted to make it out of leather.
Okay.
So he's like, goes online, looks for a leather store, finds this place called Save More Leather. SAVMOR leather. And he drives over there, and he's sitting in his car looking at the listing for it to make sure it's open. And he notices something very odd.
The first photo that comes up on Google has something very strange about it, and my heart kind of almost stopped beating, and I stared at this photo for a very long time.
The main picture for Save More Leather when you go on Google Maps is this.
Okay, so yeah, it's like a short, squat industrial building under an overpass, but it does have a sign that says...
What are you missing, PJ, in that picture?
What am I missing?
Keep looking at that photo.
It says Savmore Leather. Oh my god! There's a giant UFO in the sky over it?
Yes.
God, I have like UFO blindness. I mean, in my defense, it's sort of sky colored. Like it's sort of like a UFO with a cloaking device that's coming off, but it's definitely a UFO. It's not like, it's like a big, like classic, definite Independence Day UFO.
Yeah. You saw this before you went into the store.
Oh yeah, you better believe I looked up in the sky. And you better believe that, you know, I sat there in my car in the same approximate spot this photo was taken from. I looked up at that light pole. I took the photo myself and checked it to see if a UFO showed up on my cell phone screen, you know.
So what is your theory? What do you think's going on here?
You know, Alex, I'm very torn between thinking that actually there was a gigantic UFO hovering over downtown LA with some kind of cloaking device and somehow flickering right when he took this photo, or I don't know. It just doesn't make sense.
But it seems like just to really not be the fun guy here, it seems like what is up with this picture is like somebody uploaded a picture of a storefront and they photoshopped in a fake UFO. And like to this person's credit, what I like about these hijinks is I like when people put in a joke that's like doesn't announce itself. You know what I mean? It's like a person paying close attention will find this and no one else.
Yeah. The other thing I figured out though is that the person who put the UFOs in the photo is also doing like all sorts of reviews on Google Maps.
Like, I went to this hamburger place and my hamburger sucked, and here's a picture of the hamburger.
Yeah, I went to this Del Taco and they didn't put enough meat on the taco. It's funny that you and I both immediately go to complaints, because the only time I ever give a review is when it's a 1-star review and I'm mad about something.
What have you reviewed?
Let me look at my Google Maps profile.
You do it on Google Maps?
Uh-huh. Street view, bicycling, your locations, your places, your contributions. Let's see.
Your contributions.
Reviews. This scumbag was my landlord. He tried to cheat me out of my security deposit. I eventually had to file a small claims case against him to get it back. Yeah, I suppose that doesn't have much bearing on how he practices law. But if he'll cheat a struggling kid out of money he's entitled to, don't you think he'd do the same if he was representing you? Avoid like the plague.
It's really funny because every time he reviews like that, I'm like, I'm so glad I don't know this person, but I know you.
I reviewed the vitamin store I used to work at and got fired from, and I wrote, the manager's a dick.
That feels like a real conflict of interest, man. Wait, here's an important question. What was the gap between them hiring you and you posting that review?
That's a great question. It was 8 or 9 years.
Also, just so you know, manager turnover at the vitamin shop
He was a career guy. I'm sure he's still unless he retired.
Well, I'm sure you showed him. I'm sure he saw that and he was like, I should be people. What else you got?
I've got a 5-star review of Greenpoint Heights, R.I.P., and then a 1-star review of the eyeglass place.
And what does that say?
Well, if I could give these guys negative stars, I would. They gave me a prescription that actually made my eyes worse. I asked them to recheck my glasses, and they told me that it was a result of working in front of a computer screen, in spite of the fact that I've never had any issue with the computer screen. They suggested looking out the window every 25 minutes or so to relax my eyes. Something I never had to do prior to getting this new prescription. When I told them this did nothing to help, they told me that I had to either get a specialist or to give me a new prescription, or there was nothing they could do for me, and then proceeded to hang up the phone. And then I also said avoid them like the plague. Apparently that's like a thing.
That's kind of your tag. How do we get here?
Well, okay. I was alerted to a weird picture of a UFO. You remember that?
Yes.
I wanted to learn more about whoever put it there.
And so you're looking at their Google reviews.
Yes.
Did
And
you find it?
there is a username attached to the account, which is John R.
John R.E. Okay.
So I looked into John R.E.'s account.
To see if he posted other reviews or other photos?
Yes, and the first thing I figured out is that he did post other photos that featured the UFO.
Okay. Are they also sort of like nominally photos of small businesses?
It's mostly small businesses and generic chain stores.
Does the UFO look the same in every one?
It looks pretty similar. Where's the CVS? There you go.
It looks like it's kind of parked on top of the CVS. It's weird that he's doing it on like totally nondescript businesses. Like,
Yeah, totally. But can I tell you what really caught my attention about this guy?
Yes.
He is just an insanely prolific Google Maps reviewer. Like, he's posted thousands of photos, hundreds of reviews. It looks like he's based in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and it feels like he's on a mission to review every single business in the city. Like, he reviews like glass repair shops, cannabis dispensaries. He reviewed like his local Kohl's. He's reviewed a parking lot downtown.
And what are the reviews?
They're actually really detailed. Like, you know, he's just like the world's foremost Santa Fe outlet. Like, he will tell you which Baskin Robbins is the best in the city, which hardware store has fresh popcorn. There's one where he talks about who the most helpful employees are at the antique store. He's just like Mr. Santa Fe. And he's obviously really opinionated. Like, sometimes he can actually be pretty anal in his reviews. Like, this is a review of Ralph's.
What's Ralph's?
Is a grocery store that's owned by Kroger.
Okay.
Dogs in the grocery store? Like pajamas, dogs appearing inside stores is a phenomenon. And it happens here. Kroger does a good job of keeping their prices lower than the competition, organic produce, friendly service, ample yogurt, and a large selection of adult beverages that make the grocery store more than convenient. And the dogs? According to the U.S. Code of Federal Regulations 36.202, they're legal unless out of control or not housebroken. If you experience otherwise, service dog or not, you're within your rights to ask that the dog be removed.
Sounds like a crotchety old man. It's just weird. It's like weird how quickly you draw a character in your head.
I mean, there's also moments where he's got this almost like Aaron Brockovich vibe. Like, this is a review of a place called Shoko Cafe. Sadly, Shoko Cafe has lost its day in court. The owners have been ordered to pay overtime to 3 employees after being convicted of wage theft. This is not an establishment that can be recommended. Let the Fukuda family know how you feel about workers not being paid properly and the Fukudas pocketing their employees' overtime.
Okay. So pro-labor rights, anti-dog in grocery store.
But sometimes he actually seems really vulnerable in his reviews. Like, here's a review he did for a place called the Drury Plaza Hotel and Bar in San.
What you want, baby? What you want? What's up? What do you want? There's no way you want to go poopy already. Took care of poopy already. What's up? What do you want? What you want, Bobo? What you want, baby? What you want? What, my friend? What you want, my little baby? My little monkey baby. What you want, my little monkey baby? What? Oh. Go, quick, go. Go, quick, go. Go. Nice.
Even uglier than me. Are you still in the haze or what, you wicked lad? Our Lady asked us to guard this place, not to check another face. Kill whoever breaks in was the order. By your word!
Kick him below the belt! Time, ugly face! And I'll do him in! Oh, no! That was fast! Burn you down! Quit making about! Get to it!
As you command!
Get right! Then I'll have it! Light you up! For one wicked lad! On your work! For your slacking off? Burn you down! Watch out! For your slacking off? You're a cruel one. Fine, go beat yourself to that old wolf. I'm done.
Get your fur burned down the road. Just you wait.
Santa Fe. It was a bad week. It was a bad day. I didn't want it to be a bad night, so I wandered Santa Fe downtown. It wasn't long before I came in front of the Drury Plaza Hotel and its downstairs bar. I took myself in, wondering if this was just another tourist trap. I knew I needed a drink first. I saw a bar. It was full of colors. That's where I went. A bartender helped me. He was friendly. He was real. My night started to get lighter. I ate an appetizer, a tapa. I had a Glenfiddich. I had a cup of coffee. I had a couple dollars. I told the bartender, "Thank you. You see a lot of strangers, but tonight you made a friend. I needed this, and you gave it." "Thank you," he said. A post-prohibition vibe here at Eloise's, and there's another bar on the 5th floor. I called it a night and walked home with a smile.
It's so pretty and sad.
I know.
Ah,
It just felt like a tiny glimpse of who John was, you know? And like, after reading hundreds of his reviews, I have read hundreds of them, I felt like I had sort of an outline of who this person was. Like, he seems kind of lonely, but he also seems completely devoted to documenting every square inch of Santa Fe, this town that he clearly loves a lot. And that made me really want to meet him. So the first thing is, I think we figured out what he looks like.
oh really?
Yeah. So we're sitting there going through all his pictures, trying to find clues about who he is. And our executive producer, Tim Howard, noticed one picture in particular where you could see the photographer in the reflection of a window. And it's a man with like male pattern baldness. And as we go through his picture some more, we start seeing a guy who looks like he could be the person in the reflection. And we're like, okay, that has gotta be him.
What does the guy look like?
Let me show you a picture of him. Hold on just a second. He's the guy on the left.
Okay, so he's like he sort of looks like he's in his early 50s, maybe 60s. Mostly bald. He's got a beard, glasses. He kind of looks like an art teacher. He's got like a sweet art teacher vibe. Or like a nuclear scientist, but one of the progressive ones who's against the bomb.
Totally. Okay.
Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay.
But what felt like kind of a problem to us was, how do you track down a person from Google Maps without freaking them out?
Yeah.
Because it would be very easy for me to like post his picture on Twitter or go to the Santa Fe subreddit. But that all feels pretty invasive. So I was like, why don't we try to find someone who already knows him personally as a way to approach him that is more friendly? So myself and producer Jessica Young, who is in the studio with us.
Hey, BJ.
Hey, Jessica. So you are also helping Alex with this story.
Yes.
So Jessica and I decided to divide and conquer. We said, okay, we'll each take a couple days to call people we know from Santa Fe and ask them if they have any leads. Because Santa Fe is actually pretty small.
No, it's not.
It's pretty small. It's 80,000 people.
Okay. So just find one person you knew out of 80,000 people.
Listen, I grew up in a town that is about 80,000 people, and the lattice of connection is very great, and it is very easy to find people that you know in strange ways.
I'm the only reason I'm not being more disparaging about this plan is because the fact that we're talking about it suggests it may have worked. And so just to be clear, the method you guys are pursuing here is, it's like we're trying to find this guy, John. He went to Kohl's. Who do you know who would most likely know a John who'd gone to Kohl's in Santa Fe?
We also show him the picture. But beyond that...
It feels like a little kid somehow getting on a plane to go to the North Pole and like walking around with a picture of Santa Claus just like flashing it at people or something. Do you know what I mean? Or like going to England and asking if you can meet the Beatles. Like it just feels very...
when you put it that way, it sounds really silly.
Not naive. It feels naive. But again, we're here, which leads me to think that's how it works.
Anyway, so I figured I would talk to someone who is roughly John's age. Because maybe they have friends in common. Like maybe they hang out with similar people. So our senior producer, Fia Benin, her mom lived in Santa Fe until pretty recently. Her name is Josephine, and I decided to give her a call.
So what did you want? What to know or whatever? What's happening?
Okay, all right. So I know that you, for a while, lived in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Is that right?
Yeah, for a little while.
How long would you say?
5 months, I think.
Okay, it's a decent amount of time, right?
Okay, yeah, I guess.
Oh my god.
So I showed Josephine the picture of John R.E., and she's like, I have no idea who that is. But she did have a suggestion of someone I could talk to.
The person that I think I would give you, and I don't know if she would know him, she's actually was our real estate agent and has lived there for a really long time and knows a lot of people because she's a real estate agent. So with that, you want to talk to her?
That would be amazing if you could put us in touch.
I doubt that it'll be amazing, but I hope it is.
So then I talked to the real estate agent, and she said, he looks familiar to me. I've seen him.
Really?
Gosh, I mean, I don't know that I could tell you who it is right this second, but he looks really familiar to me. And God, I bet I could figure out who he is.
And then she, a couple days later, after me actually bothering her a little bit, was like,
master bade this child be born, but he never knew my struggles.
How can we but follow the master's word?
Like, hi, I've asked a couple people, no idea who he is, sorry.
I'm honestly surprised you're already even this close. Like, even like, I think maybe I saw him on the bus once is crazy to me. So Alex's branch of this like amazing plan so far had not worked. So Jessica, like, how was your side of this plan going?
I kind of panicked because I was like,
Alex
in
already
Santa
did
Fe?
be his mom.
Yeah, and I was like, dang it, I don't know anyone in Santa Fe. And so I quickly get on the Gimlet Slack channel and I write, does anyone know anyone that lives in Santa Fe? And then eventually someone got back to me and said, oh, this guy who works at Planet Money, Alexei Horowitz-Ghazi, he grew up in Santa Fe. Hi, is this Alexei?
It is. Is this Jessica?
Yeah, it is Jessica.
Did you feel at all? Did you feel more embarrassed because you were going reporter to reporter?
Dude, absolutely.
Do you feel like it was somewhat of that you were being somewhat stymied by the fact that, unlike Alex, you just like have a sense of shame?
Oh yeah, I didn't feel any embarrassment at all.
I know Alex.
So I tell Alexei all about John R.E. and I show him some of his reviews, and basically all he can tell me is that a lot of his reviews take place on this road called Cerrillos.
So Cerrillos is like kind of the main artery, and it's kind of the like nastier kind of strip mall-y street in town.
But yeah, other than that, he didn't really know anything else. But then the next day, he emailed me saying, you know what, my buddy, his name's Cowboy Reed.
Cowboy Reed?
Cowboy Reed. I know that he knows a lot of people. You should talk to him.
Hello?
Hello? Is this Alex James Cowboy Reed?
This is, yes, it is.
And I'm like, okay, so do you know a guy named John? R.E., maybe middle last name, I don't know. And he's like, no, I don't think that I can help you. And then I showed him the pictures that Alex showed you.
Yeah.
And he says, I don't know John, but I do know the guy standing next to him.
The guy in the right was the owner of a taco place called Bumblebees.
Oh my God, really?
Bumblebee Bob. That's the name of this guy.
Wait, it's Bumblebee Tacos, and the guy is, like, people just called him Bumblebee Bob? Or he called himself Bumblebee Bob?
I think that's what he calls himself.
Cowboy Reed knows Bumblebee Bob?
He knows Bumblebee Bob. The whole theme, the whole shtick is Bumblebees wearing sombreros in this restaurant.
Wait, so it's a Mexican restaurant?
Yeah.
Where it's Bumblebee themed?
Yes.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
And at this point, I'm thinking,
Father,
maybe we should actually
I've brought him
read
here.
John's review
It's
of
the
Bumblebee.
destined one. Brother is not around. You can hand it over to him now. Brother will surely give up on his plan once it's returned. And then we will be a family again.
You mischievous monkey. You dare to push your luck, but always have a way out.
Her down. But first, I should burn you two together and mix your ashes to honor your friendship. Entertainment. That can wait. Thought yourself quite something, huh? Have fun with this! Yeah! To save him, you'd have to impress me first. Running forward to your fishing lake, and you're just a nobody. Flee, coward! I thought you were better than this. I've got more. Taste my firebolt. Thought yourself quite something, huh? Have fun with this! You don't know when to quit, do you? Let us ignite! That was fun! Really fun! You thought you could defeat me, didn't you? Bloody fire! Burn him! Hey! That dumb staff of yours, does it burn like my spear?
You cursed monkey. Wherever you go, you leave behind a ruined family. Parents' behalf! Guan Yin told me this. Roar! The Buddha saved my flesh. What now? This is how I shut up your house! That old dead dwelling in my mother's womb. Blood. That old dead dwelling. You trying to frighten anyone in that new form?
So when springs existence, I implore. What ordained their dwelling? Springs existence, I implore. Lotus stronger blades, I make you better. What ordained their dwelling in my mother's womb? If blood and flesh compose my
Go before we eat. Hey, tasty snack. I'll crack your skull wide open.
Graceless! Merciless!
The Buddha say my face is core. So when springs explode, your blood fuel my vengeance! Restless, hopeless, fearless!
Nice.
Still holding on, despite it all.
Movie Bob's. And basically his review is like, yeah, I mean, because I guess this is a new location. He was like, it's not as good as when Bumblebee Bob used to be behind the grill for like the past 10 years. So I was like, oh my god.
This guy was a regular.
This guy definitely knows John.
Yet, why did you endure the fish and those carts?
Bumblebee, Fountain, how can I help you?
Hi, is Bumblebee Bob there?
Oh no, he's not here. Not till next month.
And I'm like, okay, so can I ask you a question then? Do you know this guy who's a regular? He comes in all the time apparently, and he writes a bunch of Google reviews. His name's John. His Google review name is John R.E.
No. To be honest, I don't think we know him.
Okay, cool. No problem. Thank you so much.
So at this point, we realize like we are not going to get anywhere sitting behind a computer at smoking lit, trying to figure out who John R.E. is. Our best chance of finding him is to go to Santa Fe.
We would like to welcome you to Santa Fe. We hope you enjoy your time in Santa Fe.
So Jessica and I arrive in Santa Fe, and we step out of the plane, and immediately right behind the airport is just these huge, beautiful mountains.
Nice.
All right.
Are you ready to go, man?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you know where we're going?
We are going to the St. Francis Hotel. We are listening to the Dirt Bombs. We're going to drop off our stuff, and then we are going to find John R.E. I will say that this road, Cerrillos,
yeah.
is where most of his reviews take place.
Absolutely. Like, he's totally reviewed that GameStop.
Yeah. I think he's reviewed this Olive Garden, too.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't into it.
But it's Olive Garden. So we get to downtown Santa Fe around lunchtime, which is perfect because around the corner from the hotel is one of John's favorite restaurants, this Southwestern diner called Tia Sophia's. All right, it's right up here. I see you this side. We just need to find a place to park.
Okay. Dang, I kind of regret eating all those chips right before we came here.
And in John's review of this restaurant, he writes that there's a waiter that he really likes there named Carl. And I was like, okay, this is a good sign, because if he knows the waiter by his first name, maybe Carl knows him and would be able to tell us how to find him. Take your time.
What are you getting?
I'm gonna get the tamales. What are you getting?
Dude, I'm getting what John said was good. Getting the huevos rancheros, yeah. Maybe that's Carl.
Maybe. After we order, we ask our waitress if Carl's working today. And it turns out he is.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Good. So we try to ask Carl about John, but it's difficult because he's very preoccupied.
Do you mind if, could we show you the review that he left?
Only got like 2 minutes, but
Oh, are you writing down orders while...
yeah,
Wow.
I can do it
What
by
a
heart.
pro.
Go ahead.
So here's his review. He says, an institution that thrives due to its servers. The food is local Santa Fe home cooking, and the waitstaff is a comedy. Carl is a favorite, with each table home to a unique personality. Sopapilla is served after 11 when breakfast ends. Have fun over huevos rancheros, pozole, whatever. It's Tia Sophia's, and she's in a rare mood today.
Oh, that's a really good review. Oh, I love that. Very good. I have no idea who it is, though, but thanks for the review.
We have his picture. The guy on the left, does he look familiar to you?
Not at all.
So attempt number 1 was a loss.
Hey, you see?
Alright.
I knew there
Oh.
was something that old fool had
Not any
told
closer.
us. Otherwise, no
Alright,
one
so
up
what's
above
next?
would bother to ruin this
Okay.
place yet again.
Okay, where are we?
So our next stop is a place called Pyramid Smoke Shop, and we decided to go there because John mentions the guy who runs the store by name. Let me read you what he says about it. He says, stop in, say hello to Nick, who can help you find what you need and more. Ask him what's new.
Oh, right there.
All the way in the corner. So are we gonna try and go in there?
Yeah, I think. And for some reason, we're in the car, and Alex just gets really freaked out at this point.
Suddenly I was like, this is all very sketchy to me. I feel very nervous.
Wait, what?
It's a smoke shop.
I just was like, going into a place that like sells drug paraphernalia
In a place where it's legal.
with a big microphone feels sketchy to me.
What did you think was going to happen?
Well,
Dude, we're not gonna get shot.
You guys are like the anxiety detectives.
Are you stopping because of these signs?
Yeah.
We're 18 years or
the
older.
sign says you must be 18 years or older to enter. No person under 18 will be permitted to enter. Smile, you are on camera. If you do
We're
not
not
know
stealing anything.
If you do not know how to speak in a smoke shop, do not speak at all. Thank you. All products in the store are intended for tobacco use and tobacco use only.
Dude.
I just feel like this is where I really feel my most uncool is around drug stuff.
Okay, dude, okay, you've been inside of a smoke shop. It's chill. Come on, like they're just putting that up because they're scared of people stealing.
No, they're also scared of people talking about weed weird.
Okay, well, we're not going to talk about weed.
Okay, fine.
So in your mind, you guys were going to walk into the store. You're going to talk about weed weird. So you'd be like, oh, I love to blunt a spliff. And then they'd be like, this guy's a cop, and they'd shoot you?
I just felt like I am incredibly culturally ignorant.
You thought you were going to offend the weed community?
Yes.
And
then they were going to shoot me.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right, what's going on?
Not much. We actually have kind of a weird question for you.
I'm sorry?
I said we actually have kind of a weird question for you.
Are you recording?
Yes.
I don't like that.
Okay, we can turn it off.
We can turn it off, yeah.
Please?
He asked us to turn it off, but then he was very nice.
Okay.
And he told us that he recognized John.
Really?
Yeah. He was like, yeah, he comes in here about once a month.
But does he have like a phone number for him or something?
He didn't. But he
I
was
guess
like,
why would he?
He was like, leave your card, and if he shows up, well, I'll let him know.
And he was like, I feel like you guys can probably find him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the third stop, we decided to go to the video library. We both really wanted to go there because when we were looking through John's reviews, we saw this photo, and it was this flyer to like save the video library.
What is a video library?
The video library.
Bad luck. It's a dead end. You nasty slanderer! I let you be, and now you have the gall to show up! If you come at me now, this day will be your last! As hard as steel, and you'll fight only when he spreads them. More blocking. Fortune's gift it is. It's Wukong's somersault cloud. I was wringing my brain how to fetch you, but this savvy one's already on it. It must have been hidden here amongst the mist until it sensed the relics on you. Thanks to them, it recalled its master and saved your skin. Now that it answers to your call, why not make good use of it? Your mortal body is too heavy for me in my wind form. All these henchmen of the court, what draws them to this mountain? Let's find out!
fear of the night. The hands of the fell omen shall brook thee no quarter.
This Twitch streamer just did the impossible. Dino Singael beat 7 Soulborn games without taking a single hit. Let that sink in. Not a single hit.
Oh my god, guys, we did it, baby!
The so-called God Run, where he ran through Bloodborne, Demon Souls, Elden Ring, Sekiro, and Dark Souls 1-3, took Dino 120 days and 300 tries. Obviously, engaging with every single encounter in these games would take forever, so Dino stuck to the main bosses required to beat the story.
Let's go, baby. We're cruising.
What's even crazier is the fact that this isn't even the first time someone's been able to get through all the Soulsborne games unscathed since Elden Ring came out. There is another absolute legend, a Spanish streamer, Bushido Yu, who got through the run a few weeks before Dino. Still, I think we can all agree that what Dino did was an insane accomplishment.
Yeah, it's nice. We're not going to have any of those cam glitches anymore that I used to have. What is up, everybody? In this video, we're going to be doing something crazy. A run consisting of the 7 From Software Souls and Souls-like games all in a row without getting hit a single time. The games included in this run are Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, and Elden Ring. If I get hit at any point in Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, and Elden Ring. If I get hit at any point in any game, I have to restart the entirety of the run. This is a run requiring a ton of patience, consistency, and game knowledge. And it feels to me like the culmination of all I've learned about these games over the past 6 years of playing them. Make sure you hit subscribe if you enjoy runs like this one, because there's going to be a lot more in the future. But for now, you can relax, and I hope you enjoy this monstrous run. Order of games, descending difficulty. It's not, it's descending. Well, it's ascending consistency is what the order is. Solar, thanks for the good luck, dude. That one was pretty bad, but I guess just I gotta aim more left. Wow, that was honestly a horrible fight. Wow, that was honestly a horrible fight. Yeah, parrying the lightning counts as a hit because you still take damage, or it's not. You're not parrying the lightning. You're getting hit by it. So. What to do, because I was, you know, I was prepared to not to, and there we go.
Maybe I'll give you the best nut ever.
And there we go. No problem, dude.
Maybe
easy.
I'll give you the best nut ever.
Always left-hand your balls, you guys. That's the secret.
Oh my god, dude, that's so
no problem,
shit.
Dude.
That is so shit. That is such a garbage.
There it is, dude.
Oh my god.
The gods demand repentance. Cough up your coin. All of it.
Not too bad. Look at all that purple, dude. Beautiful.
The gods demand repentance. Cough up your coin. All of it. The gods demand repentance.
Dude, the patches going on like a monologue here, dude.
Dude, that's so shit.
Yeah, there it is.
That is so shit. That is.
Yeah, that was a pretty clean Elden Ring.
Oh my god.
Can challenge him to a duel.
Are we getting into this immediately, or is this like, am I gonna lose or something?
I don't make a habit of fighting.
Oh boy. Bonk. So what's the play then? I think on the next hit it frees them. Or like they get out of it. Oh boy. They charged up that R2. Lean, dude. Or something. Get that as well. Oh my god, I did not mean to jump off of that. I don't know how I jumped off of that. I was trying. Okay, XY combo. What is this? Wandering white wit. Oh my god, he's getting destroyed, bro. Oh my god, no stamp. Just force push me. Nice one. Well, goodbye. Oh my god, dude. All right, let's see what happens when I die. That wasn't ideal. Did I lose anything? Doesn't really seem like I lost anything.
Quickly! Hold the line!
Quite nice having dodge and sprint be on a separate button. That was a little lucky. That's not good. Oh boy. Oh wait. Oh, he did kill him. Okay, there is friendly fire. That's quite an AoE. Oh my god, bro. I wonder if you can jump anything in this too. Because maybe I could have like jumped that or something. Well, I'm getting fucking destroyed.
With me! Hold the line!
Simply learn and then win. All right, what is up, you guys? Welcome back. Wukong is out, dude. So we're gonna play it. I was trying to think of how I want to do this playthrough, dude. This is sponsored, by the way. So if you do ! Black Myth in the chat, should be either chat. Let me just do it really quick. You can take that link, go check out the game on all those platforms. But dude, the game looks sick, man. I saw a bit of it last night.
Howdy there, folks. I'm reporting to you live from the bottom of the barrel. I thought that finding 3 anime games would be a piece of cake, but y'all, too many of these things are arena fighters. I love fighting games, but do you know how much content there is to talk about in your average of that just so happens to be Dororo? When you go through the list of Tezuka's most known, isn't much of a hard end up reviewing just alright. Well, we haven't invented toilet paper yet, but we do have this heavy machine gun. It chews through enemies like they're nothing. We don't get a body part back, but we'll get the chance since she's running back to the village. After getting to her bedroom, she reveals her true form as an ogre and challenges us to one final fight in the village. This is your first major roadblock in terms of difficulty, since she's about the same size as you, which means she's a lot harder to hit when you factor in her flight. As the fight goes on, she spends more time out of reach and trying to blast you with these big lasers. If you have half a brain, you can probably snipe her with your cannon, but I don't even think I have a skull yet. Dororo stabs Yudai with the arrow she found, which takes her down to her last phase, which gave me a heck of a lot of trouble. These beam attacks are really hard to avoid, and this was before I knew Dororo could revive if she dies, so I was busy trying to protect her too. Dying in this phase also sends you all the way back outside the castle. Man, that stinks. Anyway, what, you thought I bought this game physically? Hey, it's good! It ain't $215 for a loose copy good. This heartless bastard is charging $225 for the manual. I'll take my save states and sit at my own lunch table if it upsets you that much.
Wow. 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 Monkey baby. Little baby. Monkey bobo. Little monkey bobo.
And then go for 5 minutes. So this became a test of, okay, now that we've got Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior together, can we have these guys do a 25-minute match? Can we do a match where a real story is being told?
You can bet the adrenaline is already flowing. Here we go, Gorilla. In those bodies, it's deafening here in the Sky Dome.
Warrior learned a lot from Hulk, but there's always that little piece you want to be the top dog, and Warrior was hungry for it.
Oh, look at that, a slam by the Warrior.
They both get their time to shine.
Unbelievable. Hogan has never had anyone do that.
And they both get that moment where, as a fan, you're like, well, this is the moment where Hulk wins.
That moment that we've all seen before. Hulk Hogan is hitting the ropes. He's dropping a leg.
He moved out of the way. Look out, the big splash. 1, 2. He got him. He got him. Oh, moved out of the way. Look out, the big splash. 1, 2. He got him. He got him. Unbelievable. The Warriors won the title.
Hulk Hogan was still hot in 90, okay? When he takes that Warrior pin right in the middle of the ring, no funny business, and loses outright to the Warrior and makes Warrior king. This is not the same as doing that for someone when you are clearly on the way down.
Oh, look at this. Hulk presented the belt and raised the hand of the Warrior.
That was both Hogan and the company anointing somebody new. And it was a major deal to be able to beat Hulk Hogan.
I think Jim was idolized. That filled something up inside of him that he needed.
Other people, that have said, Warrior never respected the business. He just wanted to get in, make a paycheck, get out. That was not true. Warrior came back through the curtain after that match with Hogan and completely broke down, emotionally. He was finally at the very pinnacle of the business that he worked so hard to get to.
The fact that I took the belt from Hulk in the way that I did with the clean finish, I mean, the weight of that. You know, that saying about it's not the destination, it's the journey, it's true for me. I was so emotional after it happened, but within a day or two, I was thinking, what's next?
At WrestleMania Warrior, you lived up to the ultimate challenge, and then some. But now, you face a challenge of a different kind.
The Ultimate Warrior title reign as world champion was in some ways actually the beginning of the end.
I can feel it! I can feel that I have been chosen.
He was pure kinetic energy, right? And the story that they told was a missile being shot into space. The climb is exhilarating. But once you get there, the story just sort of fizzles.
They didn't set up the right guys for him, and it did not get him off on the right foot. And the first thing they do is they brought in Rick Rude. He was a retread. Warrior had already beaten him before.
He had matches with The Undertaker.
You're scared, and you're going to be scared. You're going to be not in there, not in a casket.
And it ends up going into Jake the Snake Roberts.
What do you think about that, Warrior? Just a few friends of mine, huh?
What if I tap the plexiglass?
Strike. Here it comes. Tapping Albert.
Warrior's walking around in that locker room with eyes in the back of his head. You got guys that are jealous of him in front of the cameras, in front of the fans. That was Warrior's safe haven. That was never the issue. But when he had to walk back into that locker room, he knew exactly what he was dealing with. That's where the pressure came.
Hang on,
Keep your attention. Keep his attention, folks.
Keep his attention. Here we go. We see him now.
I don't think you really know if somebody's up to the job until they get there, right? I don't know what expectations Vince had set and what the Ultimate Warrior wasn't living up to. Something had to be telling Vince McMahon that this project wasn't succeeding to the degree that he had hoped that it would.
Immediately, it was like, okay, the decision is to get the belt back on Hogan because Warrior didn't draw good enough. But at the time, I think everybody figured that Warrior was going to be champion for 3 or 4 years, and it was, less than a full year before they took it away from him.
Warrior is not going to fall into line. This is not somebody you are going to control, and they have to know this.
Jim Hellwig went to the beat of his own drum. Whatever that beat was telling him, whether it was good for him or detrimental to him, he went and walked to the beat of his own drum.
There were times where, he was completely isolated. Sometimes he was just really on edge.
So there's a story that a kid approaches Ultimate Warrior at an airport, as most people do. That's half the reason Vince grabs these guys is because when they walk through an airport, you can't look away from them.
He's got his sunglasses on, and this kid comes up to him, and he's asking, if he's the Ultimate Warrior, and he snaps on this little kid. I was like, whoa.
This kid's parents were pretty connected to the WWE. That posed a problem for Jim when Vince heard about this. So Vince is so upset that he makes Jim actually record a video apology to the kid.
It's Vince apology. But not in the Warrior's character.
I'm humbly apologizing, but I'm not saying what I'm humbly apologizing for.
That's
right.
right.
I know what the gimmick's for, but what's it for?
In 3, 2.
I understand that there comes times in everyone's life when they may regret certain things that they should. Yeah, I know. I don't know what the to say. I didn't say nothing to the goddamn kid.
I understand that.
Well, no, you don't, because I'm making a videotape to some kid.
It's a
work. Apology.
It's a work. That's all it is. It's a work. We're working here. That's it.
I'm working here. There's 2 matches left. I'm working here making an apology for something I didn't do. This guy's really, whatever I supposed to have said to the guy, I wish I had said to the guy.
Me too.
3, 2. There shall never come a time that any one of the WWF, go again, that I shall take revenge upon that person and vanquish them from this universe and shoot me. No one that walks within the World Wrestling Federation shall ever, never offend you without answering to the power of the Ultimate Warrior.
That was excellent. Thank you.
But then the very next day, he sits down and he writes Vince a letter.
It's as if years of frustration and anger have just boiled over, and he can't take it anymore. 1991 was a definitive moment in Jim Hellwig's life. Around January of 1991, he and his wife filed divorce papers. At the same time, the WWE decided that they were going to go in a different direction. And so that same month that he's filing divorce papers, he also loses his status as champion.
Going through the divorce, needing the money, all of those things sort of work together to reignite some of that financial anxiety that he had as a child. You know, a lot of the scars throughout Jim Hellwig's life are definitely like coming to the surface now.
You realize that, sure, Ultimate Warrior looked like he had never been better, but Jim is going through a divorce. And Jim is having arguments with Vince, and he's blowing up on fans at the airport. And you realize that there's more to it than that.
Ultimate Warrior seemed like he was just sort of at his wit's end with Vince, right? He's like, I've tried to talk to you. I've tried to bring this stuff up. Let me try something else. I'm gonna write a letter. Vince, writing this is a different approach. I have been from day one different from the others. I have sacrificed myself enough both in my personal life and physical well-being.
What Hellwig says to McMahon is, I know what Hogan has gotten, and that's what I want.
I have sacrificed more than $500,000, more than $1 million even, in monies that I should have been paid to me in receiving equal treatment as Hulk.
And he proceeds to give a list of demands about the things that he wants, about equal pay for Hogan, equal royalties for Hogan. He wants all of the same benefits that Hulk Hogan gets.
The videotaped apology was the icing on the cake. You see it as a business, so whether I like it or not, I must do the same. Whatever your decision, I can and will live with it. Till then, I remain at home with one who cares.
Hellwig appears to be saying to Vince, I'm not going to show up until you meet these demands. That's a cardinal sin in the world of professional wrestling.
WWE have not only, in the micro sense, spent all this time marketing SummerSlam, but in the macro sense, all this time marketing the Ultimate Warrior character. Like, they can't just say, all right, we'll go home, we'll just do it without you.
No one would take kindly to them. But of all the people in the world who would not take kindly to essentially being bullied, it would be Vince McMahon.
When I get this letter, it's a shock. It's like, oh, it's a kick in the guts. Felt like I was burned, so to speak. I told Jim we would work it out, indicating that we might do this deal that he was looking for. Oh, okay, we'll talk at the Garden. And I couldn't wait to fire him.
What an ovation for the Ultimate Warrior! Is he ready? Yes!
Yes, but can he be trusted?
Vince McMahon came into my locker room and he said, well, the Ultimate Warrior is holding me up for $500,000 and he wants to be paid before he wrestles. Then through the locker room door comes Hulk Hogan and he said, Sarge, you throw the Warrior out on the floor and I'll come into the ring and I'll jump on you, and you and I will head off to the corner. And while we're doing that, cheeky, you jump down and you break his leg. And Vince went, no, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't need a lawsuit on top of all this.
There's a spot at the end of the match where Hellwig grabs a chair and chases Mustafa and Adnan out of the ring and backstage.
Warrior's got a chair!
As he comes back through, he's told Vince wants to see you, at which point Vince gives him a several-page letter talking about how Hulk Hogan is a living legend. He is more popular than you, has more years in the ring than you, is in greater demand than you. And then he hits Jim very personally. He says, you have become a living legend in your own mind. Probably everything that Jim Hellwig would not have wanted to hear. He then details the fact that, Jim, you are suspended for no fewer than 90 days.
I think that Vince...
90 days.
I think that...
have wanted to hear. He then details the fact that, Jim, you are... are suspended for no fewer than 90 days.
I think that Vince wrote something that cutting because I think Vince felt insulted.
It was so, outrageous that the man was, and just so far overreached. It told me, obviously, he really didn't understand. Often, our performers will start believing in themselves more than they should and can't separate Jim Hellwig from the Ultimate Warrior, and that happens to a lot of our performers.
A lot of superstars want his approval, and they want to please him, and they want to be his guy the way you want your father to accept you.
That's what I feel, I guess, with Vince McMahon. It's like when he tells you you did a good job, it's the greatest feeling in the world.
Jim and I had this unusual relationship, personally, and we both were on the same wavelength. He was nuts. I was at the time. I'm not now. But there was this great relationship we had. No one really knew that.
I'm sure he was out there looking for acceptance, and he might have looked at him as a mother and a father figure, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Did you think of him as a son?
Not as a son. I have only one son. I can see how someone would look at me as a father figure, but I don't look at him as a son. I've never done that, but I've looked at him as a relationship that would be sort of mirroring somewhat, of father-son.
If you look at somebody like the Warrior that maybe was missing some male role models early in his life, I think Vince McMahon could have easily filled that role for him. And I don't know if Vince realized when he wrote that the ultimate in his life, I think Vince McMahon could have easily filled that role for him. And I don't know if Vince realized when he wrote that the Ultimate Warrior life, I think Vince McMahon could have easily filled that role for him. And I don't know if Vince realized when he wrote that the Ultimate Warrior would not take that as his boss being mad at him. He may take that as a paternal figure being disappointed in him. Your boss being mad at you, you get over. Somebody that you look at like a father saying, I like him more than I like you, you don't get over that.
Good morning, guys. The entire world. The wrestling changed in 1992.
The federal government has leveled charges against the leader of the WWF, Vince McMahon.
Steroid use, steroid distribution is now deemed not only illegal, but is being presented as inauthentic and immoral.
A hulk of a hero named Hogan is the biggest to take a fall.
First cue up. This is take one.
It makes a certain sort of sense that when Hulk Hogan has to take some time off, you go back in the well and find the guy who used to be the next Hulk Hogan.
There have been those that have sit upon many a throne and promised to rule the entire universe, the entire world.
McMahon decides to bring the Ultimate Warrior back into the WWE, and they begin the process of trying to mend the fences.
Look at this! Hulk! The insane Sid Justice. Hulkamania could all have handled it here today in the Hoosier Dome.
And when that music hit,
He don't have a friend left. Wait a minute!
you could hear that stadium full of people going nuts for it. They couldn't believe it.
It is! Look at that! The Ultimate Warrior! What is he doing? Is he gonna attack Hogan?
It was still a moment, and you were still like, oh my God, Warrior's back. But when he comes back, right in the midst of the steroid scandal, he looks noticeably smaller. He's still jacked. I mean, he's still, by normal standards, he's still like, I'm never gonna get a body like 1992 Ultimate Warrior, but 1992 Ultimate Warrior does not have a body like 1990 Ultimate Warrior.
He had not been quite as dedicated as he was to the gym, probably because he's coping with an extraordinary amount of loss and going through a divorce.
And I remember thinking, man, you got to get your shit together real quick here.
Let's try one more with more intensity.
Okay.
Hang on a second.
In 1992, a package is intercepted addressed to the Ultimate Warrior's driver, and it contains HGH, human growth hormone.
Explosiveness that can never ever be recreated. A chemical combustion that forms a bond forever and ever.
Did fail some tests in
Yep.
92.
Hellwig did fail tests, and Hellwig also admitted to it, to taking steroids. I think it was more than anything in his head that if I don't have this, I'll never be the same guy.
Every time he takes a drug test, he has to list the kinds of medications that he's taking already. And at the beginning of this process in May, he writes Motrin. Pretty simple. The next test, it's Tylenol with codeine in a nasal spray. By the time we get to late October, he's taking multiple medicines for anxiety, for depression, for insomnia.
As soon as they start the words, slam jam the Ultimate Warrior way.
In November of that year, the WWE will fire him again on the grounds that he has violated the drug policy.
Shit, I don't know. It just sort of unraveled in a way where I remember having a conversation with Vince and he was afraid of certain things that were going to happen to him. It just got so bad that he needed a couple scapegoats.
Was it implied that you should use steroids to make yourself?
No, never to me. I think the whole thing is weak.
It was a bad optic to have huge muscle-bound guys on top as you're fighting off these accusations of steroid use. People like Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior faded to the background, and Bret Hart's and Shawn Michaels and other guys sort of stepped in to the spotlight because their look didn't sort of remind people of what was going on behind the scenes.
He arrives in Scottsdale, Arizona. Hellwig will legally change his name to Warrior.
He lived the Ultimate Warrior, he breathed the Ultimate Warrior, so he believed he owned the Ultimate Warrior. So all you can really do is try to come up ways to stick it to your former employer.
I'm the Warrior. You know who I am. But rumor has it, you think you got what it takes to be a pro wrestler. Well, now
He launched a gym and wrestling school called Warrior University.
Warrior University.
He wanted to do workout videos and Warrior workout kits.
And I saw a new gym was coming to town, and it was owned by the Ultimate Warrior. I had a pink resume before Elle Woods ever did, and when I walked in the door, all I could see was the eye line to this huge, giant man. And I walked with purpose straight up to him. I put the resume down and I said, I need to run your aerobics program. And he said, you need to marry me. And I said, I won't even date you. And that man followed me around like a puppy and until I finally broke down and I dated him, and then, I married him, so it worked out okay. I had my own demons that from a difficult childhood, and so my husband used to always say to me, like, you tamed the beast. I met my counterpart. I met the person that I was able to do that for, and he was able to do it for me. I look back at the innocence of who we were when we first met. And what my husband really wanted was to be successful.
What time did you guys get here? 6:30. 6:30.
This is the boy. Oh, yeah. He's working. Right there. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
He had all these goals and aspirations. And what success was in his mind, what Vince McMahon had created.
He wanted to make the Ultimate Warrior into a full-blown comic book venture to launch the Warrior mainstream. But he seems to realize that it's not going to happen without a bigger platform. And because of that, once again, Vince McMahon and Jim Hellwig somehow find their way back to one another.
When you look back now, the Warriors' career is sort of more about like returns than it is about the matches.
Around June of 1996, Hellwig's father, Thomas, dies. The two had not had much of a relationship at all, but it seems to have hit him hard. In this period of time, he doesn't attend a few shows. But of course, with the WWE, you don't miss shows.
As I recall, he had not seen his dad in over 10 years and could care less about him. And that was like, wait a minute. You're going to use this as an excuse? That's the straw that breaks the camel's back with me. I can't deal with anybody like that. He was terminated.
The audience that was 5, 10, 15 years old when Warrior was at his hottest had moved on to be obsessed with other things besides the Ultimate Warrior.
The matches.
Around June of 1996, Hellwig's father, Thomas, dies. The two had not had much of a relationship at all, but it seems to have hit him hard.
Baba. Baba. Monkey Baba. Monkey baby Baba. My little Baba. Baba. Come sit in my lap. You come sit in my lap. Baba. Ow. Why? Why are you hurting me? Get away from me. Get away from me. Oh.
In this period of time, he doesn't attend a few shows. But of course, with the WWE, you don't miss shows.
As I recall, he had not seen his dad in over 10 years and could care less about him, and that was like, wait a minute. You're going to use him, and that was like, wait a minute. You're going to use this as an excuse? That's the straw that breaks the camel's back with me. I can't deal with anybody like that. He was terminated. Excuse? That's the straw that breaks the camel's back with me. I can't deal with anybody like that. He was terminated.
The audience that was 5, 10, 15 years old when Warrior was at his hottest had moved on to be obsessed with other things besides the Ultimate Warrior. So when that love and that adulation wasn't there, he went back to being an 11-year-old boy in the trailer in Indiana whose father just left him.
He starts traveling around to college campuses. One that really stood out. It made major headlines at the time. Was a speech he gave at the University of Connecticut.
You gotta get up for these things just like whenever you used to wrestle, man. You have to tell the story with the same passion and intensity.
I knew something was wrong.
Hey guys, how you doing?
And I said, what did you say? And he told me, we'll talk when you get home.
You know, young kids, they get their philosophy of life from people that are older than them. And today that's just not happening in any place.
He's accepted the fact that the Ultimate Warrior is not going to be mainstream, but it's almost like he needed something to fill the void.
What's up?
I just wanted to show you what they're passing out outside, just so you're prepared for what
Oh,
they're passing.
good.
They're all prepared with the racism jeers.
He finds this new identity in